Hello, and welcome to Healing Energies. My name is Robert Michael Marcy, and I'm joined by two other guests on this very first programs titled Healing Energies. And I am joined with Alex Caminande and Bill Montana. And we're going to go ahead and introduce ourselves, and I'm going to go ahead and start that here first. I primarily am an expert in the field of cartomancy. Now, what is cartomancy? Cartomancy is a classic form of fortune telling with playing cards, being able to divine the past, the present, and looking into the future. I have done cartomancy all my life, and it's one of those things that I've studied for many, many years, especially through my mother. My mother is a cartomancer herself, and I have learned so much, and I've been able to give readings, even to this day, to many, many people. And I also have a lot of interest in holistic and metaphysical subjects as well. And so now with that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Alex Caminande.
Thank you very much, Robert. My involvement in the holistic field began in high school when I was introduced to tarot cards. I became fascinated with tarot cards. I became a student of tarot cards and began doing readings. And for many years, I did tarot card readings and then shifted into other forms of reading. But even today, I still enjoy tarot cards. I have a bunch of tarot decks, and I just love the history and the mystery and everything surrounding that beautiful tool. I'm a Reiki master. I'm a Qigong practitioner and instructor, also meditation. And I practice transcendental meditation also, but primarily within the holistic field, I play my bamboo flutes, and they're healing, meditative bamboo flutes, and I play them at charitable events and different kinds of lectures, workshops, whatever. And the sound of the bamboo flute is healing and meditative. And as a Reiki master and Qigong practitioner, that is my intention as I'm playing the flutes. So it's an enjoyable experience, and I want to thank you guys for inviting me to be part of this program. And let's turn it over to Bill Montana.
Hi, I'm Bill Montana, and I am a mystic. Now, let me explain something. Most people consider mystic shaman. We're not actually shaman. A shaman, and the main difference is a shaman will walk in all three worlds at the same time, the upper world, the lower world, and the middle world. A mystic will study the sacred arcane ways of all three of those worlds, but we will only stay in one world at the same time. But we can access the other channels through spiritual means. Back in the 1980s, I've been a mystic pretty much all my life. I think you're actually born a mystic. I don't think you don't necessarily become a mystic. You just kind of born that way. Back in mid-80s, around 85, I founded something known as the Consciousness Research Foundation, which went around and we collected sacred artifacts from all over the world, and we studied them as they related to consciousness, energies, spiritual healing devices, and so forth. So, and if you see me live at a lot of my lectures, I have this collection I bring with me of these artifacts, and you can actually explore these energies for yourself. But as a mystic, I search out arcane methods that have, not been documented in some cases from some like the tribes, and other healing practices from around the world, and we explore these ideas. And tonight, we are actually going to explore some of these healing energies. Alex has a very special program we're going to open with, and then we're going to come back to me. And then I'm going to teach you something remarkable that you can use every day of your life from here on. Alex?
Yeah, thanks, Bill. I want to open this program with the Shen healing energy delivery. Shen, by the way, means spirit, and hopefully you'll tune in and be touched by the invisible and silent power that I'm going to be sending out in a couple of moments. Now, the root of this Shen healing energy delivery, and it's only 30 seconds, is conducted in absolute silence, and it can be found in the long line of mystics that are not very well known to our Western world. So, from the perspective of Eastern mysticism, it can be said that this following 30 seconds can activate energetic points in you, the listener. And that's my intention. And some researchers use the theory of the body's electricity to explain many of the ancient miracles, and some of which have been related to the practice of Qigong. So I'll be doing specific Qigong breaths along with Reiki, sending out powerful energy to you that can bring a sense of well-being, relaxation. It can possibly rid you of headaches and other small pains and ailments. You may get a brief insight into your current problem or situation. And this is common when I've done this before. A lot of times before I begin playing my bamboo flutes live, if I have an audience, because a lot of times I'm doing this as ambient sound. The bamboo flute is ambient sound. But if I have an attentive audience, I'll do this before I begin playing. And it's common that people report this sort of brief insight into a current problem or situation, as this is going on. And these insights may even come to you in dreams later on. You may feel some tingling, or as a general thing, you may feel light and airy, which is a very comfortable sensation. The key is that regardless of what you feel, you'll absorb the energetic elements that are beneficial to you through this experience. And it's just 30 seconds. So if you want to receive the Shen healing energy, I ask that you open yourself to receive it this moment. And we're going to begin now. So please close your eyes now. Thank you. I hope that you were able to receive the healing vibration that I was sending out. And I'll turn it over to Bill Montana now.
Wow, that was really cool. And the fact that this is an audio recording, this energy will still be present every time that you listen to this kind of thing. And it's actually a remarkable phenomenon that's very little known and very little understood. But they will be there if you need to re-listen to this and pick up some energy. Just listen to Alex speak and take part. Today, what I wanted to explore, I usually do this in my live talks, and I wanted to explore in this format, because I think this format is absolutely wonderful, is something we like to refer to as sending and receiving energy. What I would like you to do is, in a moment, you're going to hold your hands, both hands, up, and the palms will be faced away from your body, and they'll just be in a very comfortable, relaxed position. And then later I'm going to have you point your palms towards the sky. But first we're going to start by pointing your hands, raise your arms, place your hands palm out, close your eyes, and think of a person that needs healing energy anywhere in the world. And then I want you to visualize yourself sending them this energy. Now, I want to be clear. When you're sending the energy, send it to the field that is around them. So when they need it, they can reach up and grab it. So we're not going to directly send it to them. We're going to send it to the field around them. This is very important. This way, when the energy is there, they can reach up and grab it. If they choose, if they need more energy, it'll be there for them. Hold your hands up, palms outwards, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and begin to send loving energy to these people. Make sure your energy is positive, loving, kind, compassionate, and considerate. Send it to their energy field. Keep sending their energy. Keep sending. You'll feel the energy start to vibrate through you and flow up through your hands, now from your hands to that person. Keep sending while I speak. Send a little more energy. Now, I want you to turn your palms upward to the sky. Leaving your arms right where they're at. You will feel something very strange in the palms of your hands. How many of you have heard the expression, what you send out, you receive? That energy that you just sent to the person, you're actually receiving back from the universal force. And it's in the palms of your hands right now. It's flowing down through you, down into your body, and just absorb it. And what this teaches us is that which we send out into the world, we get back. So if we send out positive, loving thoughts to others, this is what will return to us. Not in days or weeks as usually conceived of as in karma, but instantly. And that is the true law of karma. What you send out, you receive. Okay, now you can lower your hands. Now, most of you have felt this energy literally flowing through your body, and that's, as you do this, let's say you have a sick friend that's in the hospital or a friend that went to the hospital and, broke his leg or something, and you want to send positive energy to him. Do so, but send it to the aura field around, because if they're ready to accept it, they'll just reach up and grab it. They'll be able to take the energy. We don't want to send our energies directly to the person because it's invasive. We want people actually doing that to us, because they could be, dealing with something in that particular moment that did not require that kind of energy. So, and if you do this repeatedly over the course of a few days, what you usually see is the person actually, when they start to receive these energies, actually starts to help them get better. And it also, shows that we actually love and care for these people. It's really a remarkable phenomenon, but most people have never experienced it or seen it. You guys feel that?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, it's quite a remarkable phenomenon, and that's just one example of mysticism or mystical approaches being brought into the modern day world, so that we can use them. These things have been around for thousands and thousands of years, and I don't really understand why we're not using them more. Now if you want to strengthen this effect, what I'd like you to do, if you think you have a dire situation and you need a little bit more stronger energy, go outside. Take off your shoes and socks and step onto the earth. This will not only return you, but it also create the earth as a channel and help you send this energy. It's extremely powerful. It's probably one of the more powerful things I teach, and that's only one version of it. There's other versions where we show pictures of the ancient deities like Shiva, where they're holding up a single hand, and that's the right hand. And that's the hand that generally conceived of, in the Vedas, that sends energy out into the world. And when we see those things, or Christ holding up his hand, they're sending a blessing to you. You actually receive that blessing with the left hand, but when you first start out, it's best to use both hands to focus that intent. It's really quite remarkable and strong stuff. It's unlike a lot of what the other guys teach teach. I'm very experiential in the things that I teach. So if you're at one of my classes live, you'll actually experience the stuff live, and there's a lot to experience. But on this series of programs, I'm going to teach you something new every week that's in these related lines that you can use right now and use for a very long time to come. And Robert?
Wow, that was very, very good. I mean, I could feel the positive vibes coming out from both of you. I mean, that is very great. And I'm sure that those of you listening to this recording can actually feel that energy emanate and take over you, strengthen and heal your aura and the aura around those that you love, and even those who are negative in your life. If you be a good example and send out positive vibes, guess what? You're going to receive positive vibrations back. And that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Because what we send out into the world is what we're going to get back from the world. So if we send out negative anger and hatred, what do we expect to get back? More negativity, anger, and hatred? That's not working for me well.
Right.
I think the world can be a much better place.
Right. And it's really important to send out these healing energies, especially in these days now where you have so much violence and so much crime and people exuding so much hatred towards each other. It's really time to, love thy enemies. Even those that you don't love, try to send out some good, positive vibes towards them. And then
and the reason you want to do that is because you don't want it to take in their negativity. So we send the love out, and it comes back. The love comes back to us.
Right.
That's the missing secret that I think a lot of people are missing these days.
Mm-hmm.
What we send out, we get back.
Yeah.
Very, very powerful stuff. And I love the Shen. I love the Shen healing. It's a remarkable thing. And we actually got to see Alex do that at a New Age event in Las Vegas? Yeah. It was a great experience there.
It's very brief, but I found that it's been effective. That people do receive the energy. Those that are willing and open to receive that energy, they do receive the energy. And and it makes as you just demonstrated with what you send out, you get back. I feel great doing it. And even though it's so brief, it's just 30 seconds approximately. It's just a small moment. It's impactful to me. I feel that the energy does come back when I do this, live and with a group. You send out this energy and I immediately receive it back, and I feel really good about it. And I thought that was great demonstration there, Bill, of sending out the energy and then receiving it back from the universe. I think it's a beautiful thing. And
you can actually feel it coming back to you. That's what's beautiful about it. It's not like this is a creative visualization exercise, which I don't do at all. It's a real phenomenon, and that's the thing that I think separates a lot of the stuff that we do. All three of us from what a lot of the other guys, where they use creative visualization and so-called meditation and stuff. I mean, it doesn't have that experience factor, and I think with what we do, because all three of us pretty much think the same way, we believe everything should be experienced. You should experience life, not just look at it through somebody else's eyes.
Yeah. Bill, you mentioned a moment ago about the image with the right hand, or is that something? Could you talk a little more about that? Because I didn't quite pick up the.
If you look at a lot of the Hindu religious posters, for example, from India, you'll see pictures of Ganesh with his right hand up. Okay, you might be sitting in a meditative pose, or you'll see pictures of Buddha with the right hand up. You'll see a lot of the pictures they have. These are like advertisement pictures, and they went away, but religious pictures, and they hang them all over the place. Literally, you go to the Indian drugstore, they may even have a few on the wall that you could,
I have a picture.
Drugstore, but
I have an image
the Indian,
of Buddha. I'm sorry, Bill.
The Indian grocery store. Sorry, I got caught up in my own words there. It happens. But he'll have his right hand up, and this is actually sending the blessing way. He's sending positive energies to the people that walk by and see his image. You also see it in a lot of the sculpture. You also see it in Christianity, surprisingly. You'll see in a lot of pictures of the saints and the angels and stuff, and they'll have their hand up, and they're actually sending a blessing out as people observe them. And if you're in their presence, if you hold your hands up, you'll actually feel the energy coming from them.
It's real interesting.
Yeah, this is mysticism. Mysticism is very real, but a lot of people don't know the ways.
Yeah, what I was saying is I have this big image of Buddha here at home, and Buddha is holding up his right hand. So that's why when you mentioned that earlier, I wanted to hear you talk a little more about it.
Let's try a little bonus thing. If you guys have a picture like that with Jesus or Buddha or Krishna or Rama or Shiva, Ganesh that's holding up his right hand, if you're listening to this on audio, it's pretty easy to move around. So go ahead and move over to that and stand in front of it. Now hold up your hands, and you'll actually feel the energy flowing from that sacred object or that sacred image.
Wow, that's powerful.
Very interesting.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? Because a lot of us have these sacred images laying around. We just don't really know what they're for. So, in the morning, go by that image, hold your hands up, receive some energy, and then take that with you, and then send that energy back out throughout the day. Really, really strong stuff. Because it's really just a matter of learning the process of how to tap into these ancient mystical energies. And once you do, you can, apply them. Start applying them and using them because they're there. They've been there for thousands of years. Sometimes they lay dormant until you run across them. But they're there. I mean, if you go out to the ancient, like we're here in the United States, so if you go out to any of the ancient Native American sites, maybe say to one of the mounds or effigies, notice a lot of these aren't burials. These are actually just big lumps of earth. And those are lumps of earth that have been piled on these magnetic anomalies. But go, if you can go and stand on one or stand near one, you'll feel presence coming up, especially without your shoes. Wow. Talk about getting recharged for a month. Yeah, there it is. But they're all over the place. I mean, but there's all kinds of sacred sites even in Europe. For example, there's a bunch of sacred sites that you can go and experience. And I recommend to go and experience these sites because once you're aware of this type of thing, you can become more aware. You'll become more aware, and then you'll be able to draw from these energies and use these energies to send to those around you that need help, and to yourself. I mean, let's not forget self. But I think it's better if you want to be healthy, send healthy thoughts to somebody else, and then health will come back to you. It's really that simple. Now, this isn't to say that it's going to cure all diseases or anything, but this is a way to, definitely help the illness, to help recover from those illnesses. Like colds, I use this as a cold. If I have a cold, I start sending out healthy thoughts to people I know, and my colds are lessened. So it's not a major cure. It's not necessarily a miracle, but it is. It is the way the ancients treated a lot of very, very bad things.
Yeah, with Reiki and Qigong healing and stuff, this is it's very effective. Even distance, distance healing is sending that kind of universal force, universal energy, healing to people. It's very effective. Very effective within Reiki and Qigong.
Yeah, I study pranic healing, so I know exactly what you're talking about. But the thing I want to talk about also before we end this program is distance and time. That doesn't really exist. I mean, there's a physical distance, but let's say we wanted to draw upon some of the energies from, let's say Stonehenge or Egypt, some of the sacred monuments there. These energies, I mean, they're connected to the earth just as we're connected to the earth. So it's really just pulling in from the Earth's energy. So there is no real distance in this case, as perceived by the human mind. That's just a bad construct. So you don't think of it in terms of like distance. Think of it in terms of energy, because energy is everywhere, and the energy is all connected, interconnected. So you can reach that point, and you can even, sometimes they call it bilocation, where you actually feel and see yourself being there at times. It's a remarkable event. But all these things happen because you've opened yourself up to this very mysterious world that's around us that we really don't understand. And I guess that's kind of the point. We don't understand it, so we go out and learn about it, But yeah, Alex, did you feel the energy coming off the Buddha?
Well, I'm not close to the image, but that's something I'm definitely going to try because it's a big image.
Check it out.
On the wall,
also check it out with check it out with not only the Buddha, but like Christ, pictures of Christ at the church or something, or Mother Mary. You'll feel different types of energy coming off all these. So you'll see it. It's there. Now, but once you're aware of it's there, it's remarkable.
Bill, the size of the image, does it matter? The size of, because I happen to have a big image of Buddha, but if somebody has a smaller image?
Oh no! I got a Buddha right in front of me. That's a little Thai amulet. He's only maybe 3/4 of an inch tall, and he's in a similar position. You can feel energy emitting off that. Or I have a relic actually I got out because I was packing up some stuff from one of my lectures of Pope Pius X, which has got a little piece of him inside of it. It's only about 2 or 3 centimeters, but you can feel energy off that. So size doesn't really matter.
That's real interesting. I have a little Sri Yantra, that I've had for a long time, and it's a tiny one, but you can sense energy from even the tiny Sri Yantra. It's a 3-dimensional. It's a stone Sri Yantra, but So,
here's something.
So
here's
cool.
something I think is unique. You want to try another experience while we're on? Now, you guys at home can do this with any object that you think is unique as well. Any spiritual object that you think unique, maybe one of your special crystals that's not with you presently. Okay? Hold up your left hand in the direction of where that object is. And then you don't have to be in the same room, just in the general direction of where that object is. Okay? Robert, you can do this with one of your objects too, because I know we're all three in different places right now.
Okay.
Feel it? And just think about, call its name, like in Sri Yantra, or whatever the object is. In my case, it's a crystal that I'm pointing towards. You can actually feel the energy of that object because you've summoned it in your presence. It's now in your presence. Feel it in your hands? Feel your hands tingling?
Right. Yes.
So, even though that our sacred objects or our special object that we use for meditation may not be with us, if we raise our hand and point it towards the direction of that object, what we'll see is that object will activate, and those energies that the object has already provided to us will come straight back to us. Remember, it's in the field around us, not in us, because it doesn't want to be intrusive.
Yeah.
Yes, cool. God is within, but to access the true divine, the divinity, it's around us, and He places it there. He's within, the divinity is around us, and when we want the divinity, we reach up and grab it. It's very, very, very cool stuff that most people have never learned this kind of stuff, and that's why I go around and do what I do.
That's real interesting because sometimes you do leave things at home, or whatever, and you standing in line, or there's a lot of things you can do. Little brief meditations or experiencing the present moment and things like that. But if you have your crystals or something like that you've left at home, it's kind of interesting. That's something I'm going to try and play with as well, and sort of just bring my hand out in that general direction and kind of feel the presence of my sacred object. I think that's something that's neat that I'm going to play around with. I'm going to maybe try that.
Yeah, and we should eventually do another program on just sacred objects because they're fascinating. I know I have them, you have them, Robert has them, and most of the people that will be listening to this program have some form of sacred object within their presence. And we can talk about, how to activate that. We may even do a teleseminar and invite them into the call, which would be really kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Because we can do that now. We couldn't do that when I started, back in the 80s. We didn't have any of this technology, or if the technology was there, it'll be $20,000 a minute. Nobody can afford that. But now we got, access to this new technology, which is wonderful to help convey what we do, It's very, very, very cool times we live in. Robert, do you have anything else to add? Because I think I got crystals vibrating on the table. Looks like one's about ready to jump up in the air. I'm going to put him in the cleansing bag before he gets possessed on me.
All I can say is that, when we think about what we do, we're all interconnected. The whole universe is made up of the same energy, and we're all connected to it somehow, in some way, in different forms and in different vibrations. And the truth is, when we look at the whole entire universe, it's everybody's playground.
It's our playground.
The whole universe is a big playground. At the same time, this playground is very mysterious, and there's a lot of mysteries out there that we haven't even begun to scratch the surface of. And so, in some of the stuff that Bill talked about and Alex, this is really the really quintessential stuff. I mean, some of the stuff, part of that playground, that people can use in their daily lives and share that love with others as well, and really enjoy the mysteries contained in this life, in this big playground.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the biggest mystery is, if I send out loving energy in the world and it comes back to me instantly, that's the biggest mystery. How does it come back to me? We don't really know. Right. We don't actually understand how this whole karmatic thing works, but we know it works.
Right.
Fun stuff. Yeah, fun stuff. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, we might not understand it, just like, the best electricians don't understand how electricity goes down the wires, Same thing. But you know what? You don't need to know how it works, but just know it works.
But you need to know how to work it so it's beneficial to you, because like with electricity can be very non-beneficial to you and actually hurt you, or it can provide very beneficial things like warmth and light.
Yeah, and all this stuff really without effort. It's sort of it's a natural thing. It's sort of without effort. It reminds me of a Ralph Waldo Emerson quote in Spiritual Laws, where he says, "Place yourself in the middle of the stream of power and wisdom which animates all whom it floats, and you are without effort impelled to truth, to right and perfect contentment." It is without effort. You're just experiencing the energy that is being provided by the universe, and it's just it's a beautiful thing. And so often,
but there are techniques to tap into that.
Yeah,
and that's what I want to try to share with some of these techniques with the world for future generations. So we're not going to lose this technology, because I look at mysticism more as a technology, an ancient technology, but a technology, and I don't want that technology to be lost. I want that to be still available for those that seek it or need it. But I love that image. Right. Well, yes. Robert, go ahead and take us out, brother.
All right, perfect. Well, I wanted to thank Alex Caminante and Bill Montana for the wonderful, wonderful knowledge that they've imparted onto us. And I'm sure that everyone listening in have received those positive vibes. And that's what it's all about. We're going to explore these mysteries that are so profound in our universe, and share that knowledge with each and every one of you, and sending out much, much love and positive vibrations. And so do you guys have any final thoughts?
No, thanks you guys for attending this lecture, though, really. or this talk. I mean, I really appreciate it. And thank you for those that are listening to this later. Without you, this wouldn't even be possible. So.
Right, absolutely. Well, like I said, this is going to be the first of a series of lectures, so keep an eye out for any...
and now I just want to say they'll all be different lengths. I mean, there won't be, some of them will be very long and some of them will be a little shorter. So don't expect everything to be, whatever this time limit was. I have no idea of time, so...
Right, absolutely.
It's one of the downfalls of being a mystic. I have no idea if it's been an hour or if it's been 10. I have no concept of time anymore.
Right. Okay.
Well, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate that. That was it was interesting stuff that you talked about, Bill. So thanks a lot. Look forward to the next ones.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll get you to play some flutes on the next one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
We'll have to get you to play some flute, do a flute meditation on the next one.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, definitely. So, Alex, thank you very much for your Shen healing, and Bill for sending and receiving energy. Very, very good stuff. And again, to all of you listening, we're sending out all the love and positive vibrations. So until the next audio, we want to wish you farewell.